very good evening to you. This is PACIS TV, and it is a very huge privilege to be with you tonight. This is the time for the news in English. My name is Benjamin Kwizera, and these are the top stories. Private sector federation, PSF, and local authorities held a high-level meeting in RUSIZE district, bringing together PSF leaders and district officials from Rwanda's western province. Ambassador retired Major General Joseph Nzabamwita has formally presented his credentials to President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, officially assuming his role as Rwanda's ambassador to Belarus. In RUSIZE district, small-scale traders, particularly youth, women and persons with disabilities engaged in cross-border trade, say a 3-day training program has helped to transform their mindset on conflict resolution and how to handle challenges they face in their business activities. In international news, the U.S. military says it has completed a heavy wave of strikes against Iran in retaliation for Tuesday's attempted ballistic missile attacks on American forces. Well, welcome to RWANYU in details. This is the news brought to you in partnership with the CRISTU Hotel. Private sector federation, PSF, and local authorities held a high-level meeting in RUSIZE district, bringing together PSF leaders and district officials from Rwanda's western province, addressing challenges facing the private sector. Strengthening collaboration between both were among points to be discussed. More report. Addressing challenges facing the private sector, strengthening collaboration between PSF and local authorities, and promoting investment were among the key issues discussed during a high-level meeting held in RUSIZE district, bringing together PSF leaders and district officials from Rwanda's western province. The meeting also highlighted operational practices that continue to hinder business growth, including multiple levels imposed on traders and the frequent suspension of business activities due to recurrent meetings. Both sides acknowledged the need for a more streamlined and predictable framework to support business operations. Participants emphasized the importance of boosting investment, accelerating service delivery to the private sector, and resolving persistent constraints affecting businesses such as limited operating hours. The meeting aimed to review the implementation of cooperation agreements between district authorities and the PSF, with a focus on ensuring that commitments translate into tangible improvement for entrepreneurs. Dieudonné Mabete Nyonsaba, head of Private Sector Federation in Western Province, noted that despite ongoing efforts, certain practices continue to undermine business performance. He pointed out that traders are often required to pay multiple contributions for what is essentially the same activity and are compelled to close their business due to frequent meetings. He called for consolidation of such obligations into a single, harmonized framework to reduce the burden on business and improve livelihoods. He also reaffirmed PSF's commitment to continued advocacy to ensure these concerns are effectively addressed. On his part, Western Province Governor Jean Bosco Ntibitura acknowledged the challenges raised by business operators and attributed many of them to inefficiencies within local administrative system. Data from PSF in Western Province shows that over the past year, the Federation has implemented various community-focused initiatives, including building houses for vulnerable families and providing livestock to support livelihoods. These activities, valued at over 2.5 billion Rwandan francs, demonstrated the private sector's contribution to social and economic development. However, traders have expressed the concern that despite these contributions, they continue to face multiple tax demands under different programs, underscoring the need for more coordinated and business-friendly approach. The meeting concluded with a shared commitment to strengthen dialogue, improve policy implementation, and create a more enabling environment that supports business growth and sustainable economic development in the Western Province. Well, in diplomacy-related news, Ambassador Major General retired Joseph Nzabamwita has formally presented his credentials to President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, officially assuming his role as Rwanda's ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary to Belarus with a residence outside the country. News in details. Ambassador Major General retired Joseph Nzabamwita has formally presented his credentials to President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, officially assuming his role as Rwanda's ambassador extraordinary plenipotentiary to Belarus with residence outside the country. The credentials presentation ceremony took place in Minsk on 20th of July 2026, marking a significant step forward in strengthening diplomatic relations between Rwanda and Belarus. The event underscores both nations' commitment to deepening cooperation and expanding engagement across multiple sectors of mutual interest. During the meeting, President Lukashenko reaffirmed Belarus's strong interest in enhancing bilateral ties with Rwanda. He emphasized that economic cooperation should serve as a cornerstone of political relations between the two countries, highlighting key areas of potential collaboration. He pointed to sectors such as industry, agriculture, education, technology, security, and defense as priorities in advancing these renewed partnerships. The Belarusian leader further stressed the importance of establishing effective mechanisms to promote trade and investment between the two nations. Among the proposals discussed was the creation of permanent joint commission tasked with overseeing the implementation and monitoring of bilateral agreements, ensuring sustained progress and tangible outcomes. On his part, Ambassador Major General retired Nzabamwita Joseph expressed Rwanda's commitment to strengthening its diplomatic and economic presence in Belarus. He pledged to work diligently to promote Rwanda's national interests while fostering closer cooperation in strategic sectors that contribute to sustainable development and the well-being of citizens in both countries. The ambassador also highlighted Rwanda's openness to partnerships that support innovation, economic growth, and knowledge exchange, noting that enhanced collaboration with Belarus could unlock new opportunities for trade, skills development, and technological advancement. In Rusizi district, small-scale traders, particularly youth, women and persons with disabilities engaged in cross-border trade, say that a 3-day training program has helped to transform their mindset on conflict resolution and how to handle challenges they face in their business activities. The Justice and Peace Commission of the Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu states that the training aims to equip participants with practical knowledge and encourage them to form savings and loan groups. The more report with Marie-Joseline Nitorich.
Although the project tagged women, youth, and people with disabilities involved in cross-border trade, this phase focused on training youth who will in turn train their peers. These participants come from 7 groups engaged in training and saving and loan associations. Participants note that they gain knowledge in various areas, but emphasize that lessons on conflict resolution and prevention of violence were particularly valuable. They believe that these skills will help them to manage daily challenges they encounter in their work.
We live in the country that has security and peace, the country that listens to the citizen and prioritizes its citizens. That is a great chance to be born in this amazing country. In general, when you take a look at how we used to be before we came in these trainings, there are things we saw as challenges, but also we find out some opportunities.
The traders also highlighted language barrier as a major challenge, especially in Bukavu in Democratic Republic of Congo. They explained that not understanding the local language sometimes exposed them to exploitation, including having their goods taken or being paid less than agreed. They expressed confidence that training will help them better protect their rights and respond appropriately in such situations.
We usually face challenges of languages, sometimes when it comes to negotiation of prices, and that may lead to the conflict. Another problem is when we give Congolese some products and you agreed on the day to pay, and when that day arrives, they don't pay.
Console Uwamariya, an officer with Justice and Peace Commission in Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu, says that the training include modules that help traders understand legal framework and ethical conduct in a cross-border trade. It also focuses on peaceful conflict resolution and proper management of loan obtained through their saving groups. She added that the skills will enable participants to expand their business and make better use of available opportunities.
These
traders, as I said, in their commerce, they face many challenges and conflicts. In these trainings, they learn to know themselves, to collaborate in the groups, and they have learned to expand their trade so that they can be developed. They can also learn to identify conflicts and to fight against conflicts.
Kumenya amakimbirane rero no kumenya ibyiciro byayo bibafasha kuyirinda.
This project, funded by International Organization of Migration and implemented by CRC Rwanda through the Justice and Peace Commission of the Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu. It brings together 175 participants, mainly women, youth, and people with disabilities, organized into 7 saving and loan groups. Implementers say that the goal is to strengthen the capacity of these groups, enabling them to grow their businesses and become role model in conflict resolution. Participants are reminded that conflict is like fire. Rather than fueling it, they should strive to extinguish it. Mary Johnson, Nyuturichi report.
From Rusizi district back to Kigali, Honorable Senator Donatille Mukabalisa passed away on Thursday, the 30th of July 2026, following an illness. She died at King Faisal Hospital. Her passing coincided with her birthday, as she would have turned 66 on this the same day, according to Senator Emmanuel Havugimana, a long-time colleague in Parliament. More report.
Senator Donatille Mukabalisa passed away on Thursday, the 30th of July 2026, following an illness. She died at King Faisal Hospital. Her passing coincided with her birthday, as she would have turned 66 on this same day, according to Senator Emmanuel Havugimana, a long-time colleague in Parliament. Senator Mukabalisa was born in 1960 in Nyamata, Bugesera district. She completed her primary and secondary education before the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. After the genocide, she pursued higher education at the Kigali Independent University, ELK, where she studied law. She later became a lecturer in the Faculty of Law at ELK and also taught at INILAC. Before entering politics, she worked for 16 years with international organizations, including the World Health Organization, WHO, and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. She later joined politics and served as Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies from 2013 until 2024. Senator Donatille Mukabalisa also held key leadership positions within Liberal Party, PL, serving at different times as Secretary General and later as the party president. She was widely recognized as a prominent political figure in Rwanda. Beyond her political career, Senator Mukabalisa was a devoted wife and a mother of 3 children. She will be remembered for her dedicated service and contributions to the nation. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Children from Ruhango Parish, members of Missionary Childhood Movement, say that their pilgrimage to Kibeho has left them with a commitment to deepen their prayer life and to encourage their fellow children to pray and show respect. More report.
Children from Ruhango Parish, members of Missionary Childhood Movement, Enfants Missionnaires, say that their recent pilgrimage to Kibeho has inspired them to embrace prayer more deeply and to encourage their fellow children to pray and show respect. The children from Ruhango Parish in Kabgayi Diocese explained that their spiritual journey to Kibeho strengthened their love for prayer. They noted that they returned home with a mission to inspire their peers to love God, respect others, and practice obedience. Sister Mama Maria Francine Dusenge, a member of Pallottine Sisters who serves in Ruhango Parish and accompanied the children on the pilgrimage, stated that the purpose of the visit was to help them to experience the site where Virgin Mary appeared. She added that the children were also given the opportunity to pray for all children around the world and for their parents. She further expressed hope that the spiritual fruits gained from the pilgrimage would be shared within their families and communities, encouraging others to develop a culture of prayer. In her message to parents and educators, Sister Dusenge urged them not to hinder children from praying or seeking Jesus Christ. She emphasized that a child's desire to pray and follow Christ is a great blessing, as it is the source of good values that prepare them to build a better future for both the church and for the country.
Well, after a short commercial break, we are coming back with the international news tonight.
PSF yateguye imurikagurisha mpuzamahanga ku nshuro ya 29 rizabera igikondo mu mujyi wa Kigali kuva ku itariki ya 28 Nyakanga kugeza ku ya 17 Kanama 2026. Ibihugu bigera kuri 20 byose bizaba biri mu rw'imisozi igihumbi. Buri gicuruzwa, service cyangwa kwidagadura wifuza byose bizaba bihari. Imiryango izaba ifunguye buri munsi guhera saa 3 za mu gitondo kugera saa 4 z'ijoro. Kubifuza kumurika ibyo bakora nababwira iki? Imiryango irafunguye. Hamagara 0785 imurikagurisha mpuzamahanga Expo uritegurirwa n'urugaga rw'abikorera PSF ifatanyije na Minisiteri y'Ubucuruzi n'Inganda Minicom.
Ufite Canal Plus, abafite na Netflix. Niho honyine warebera K-pop Demon Hunters ndetse anime y'inyamamare muri iyi minsi. Mu mazi magari, abasare ba One Piece muri season ya 2 baragashya kugeza ku nkombe. The Polygamist mwese mwakukiye imitima uyireba yicara na karahuri k'amazi hafi aho. The Night Agent season ya 3 nibiturika bidasigwo bihasanze. Kuri Netflix ufite amahitamo y'imyidagaduro y'impande zose z'isi. Netflix iri muri abonema y'ikirenga nta yandi mafaranga wongeyeho. Niba ufite abonema ihutire gukurikiza amabwiriza ubundi ubone igisobanuro cy'uburyohe.
Nibyo koko sujya wifuza kugura tent wifuza ukabura aho wabariza? Kigali Tent Tech ubu ni igisubizo kuri wowe. Tubakora amatenti y'ubwoko butandukanye mu buryo bwa kinyamwuga bitewe nuko mubyifuza. Tubakora amatenti atwikira imodoka igatandukana n'izuba ndetse n'imvura birinda kwangirika. Tubakora amatenti akoreshwa mu birori bitandukanye nk'ubukwe, inama zitandukanye n'ibindi. Abo mu bukerarugendo namwe Kigali Tent Tech ntitwabibagiwe kuko tubakorera tent nziza zo gukambikamo zijyanye n'imiterere y'ikirere, camping tent. Tubakora kandi amarido meza akoze muri tent arinda amahuhwezi kwinjira mu nyubako, canopy tent n'imitaka myiza yo kwicaramo muri jardin, kuri piscine n'ahandi, amahema atwikira ibicuruzwa n'ububiko bw'amazi buzwi nka water bladder. By'umwihariko kandi tubasanira amahema yangiritse mu buryo bwa kinyamwuga. Kigali Tent Tech dukora Kimisagara hafi na Kiliziya ya Saint Pierre. Ku bisobanuro birambuye waduhamagara cyangwa ukatwandikira kuri 0788914308 cyangwa ugasura imbuga nkoranyambaga zacu Kigali Tent Tech. Kigali Tent Tech, we deliver quality. Even if it breaks my heart.
Rero ugiye kutubwira impamvu zatugihitamo kuza gusaba akazi hano.
Bwa mbere nza gusaba akazi hano nari nabitekerejeho, mbabarire. Murakoze. Mu by'ukuri numvaga mfite ubushobozi ndetse n'ubushake.
So kutiteguye bihagije nuko utaryama neza. Rwanda Farm, le paradis du matelas.
Ibihumbi 2 niwo mubare w'abanyarwanda bonyine bari barize kaminuza mu Rwanda hagati y'umwaka wa 1963 n'1994. Abantu 2,000 mu myaka 30 yose. Hari kera hataraza kaminuza nka Catholic University of Rwanda
uyu munsi yamaze kurema ba rwiyemezamirimo ndetse no gushyira mu kazi abakozi benshi kandi b'abahanga. Muri uyu mwaka ku nshuro ya 12 iyi kaminuza igiye kohereza mu kazi izindi ntiti 453. Ibi birori bya graduation bizaba ku itariki ya 31 y'uku kwezi kwa karindwi mu mwaka wa 2026 kuri katedrale ya Butare. Barimo bazahabwa postgraduate diploma in education n'abarangije icyiciro cya kabiri cya kaminuza mu mashami nka catechesis and religious sciences, business studies, education, health sciences, science and technology na social work. Muzaze twifatanye mu kwishimira iyi ntambwe idasubira inyuma dukomeje gutera. Ukeneye kugira icyo usobanuza duhamagare cyangwa utwandikire kuri 07 33 21 46 78.
Well, welcome to our international news. Tonight, starting in Vatican, His Holiness Pope Leo XIV has underscored the vital role of immigration in shaping the United States of America during a recent interview with the American broadcaster NBC, while also hinting at the possibility of a future visit to his country of birth. In the wide-ranging interview, the pontiff reflected on the historical and cultural foundations of the United States, describing immigration as defining element of a nation's identity. He noted that generations of immigrants have contributed significantly to the country's economic growth, cultural diversity, and global influence, emphasizing that migration should be viewed not only as a challenge but also as an opportunity. His Holiness Pope Leo XIV stressed the importance of approaching migration with compassion, dignity, and respect for human rights. He called on leaders and communities alike to recognize the humanity of immigrants and refugees, urging policies that balance national interest with moral responsibility. According to the Pope, welcoming and integrating newcomers has long been a source of strength for societies, particularly in the American context. The Holy Father also spoke about the need for dialogue and solidarity in addressing contemporary migration issues, which continue to generate political and social debate in the United States and beyond. Well, from Vatican to Middle East, the U.S. military says it has completed a heavy wave of strikes against Iran in retaliation for Tuesday's attempted ballistic missile attacks on American forces. CENTCOM said it hit dozens of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC targets in response to Iran's firing on U.S. bases in Jordan and at ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian state media said the latest strikes had killed 3 people, including a 2-year-old child on Keshm Island, while other locations were also hit in the south and west of country. The latest hostilities come on a week that has seen the conflict expand, with the first publicly announced joint US and Saudi strikes targeting Iranian proxies in Iraq. Iran and the United States of America have engaged in escalating strikes and counter-strikes since the ceasefire in April, aimed at pausing the months-long war, fell apart in June. The U.S. has blockaded Iranian ports and bombed Iranian sites, while Iran has fired missiles and drones at the U.S. assets in the countries across Middle East and targeted shipping in the economically important Strait of Hormuz. Well, and that story takes us to an end of our news edition tonight. But before we close, let's go back to the top stories. Private Sector Federation PSF and local authorities held a high-level meeting held in Rusizi district, bringing together PSF leaders and district officials from Rwanda's western province. Ambassador Major General retired Joseph Nzabamwita has formally presented his credentials to President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, officially assuming his role as Rwanda's ambassador to Belarus. Small-scale traders, particularly youth, women and persons with disabilities engaged in cross-border trade, say a 3-day training program has helped transform their mindset on conflict resolution and how to handle challenges they face in their business activities. In international news, the U.S. military says it has completed a heavy wave of strikes against Iran in retaliation for Tuesday's attempted ballistic missile attacks on American forces. Well, it was a very huge privilege to be with you tonight. This is PACIS TV. My name is Benjamin Kwizera and I wish you a very fantastic night.